I know I'm not the only one who noticed that our world has changed, or our world is changing, and not just our world as well, but people as well are changing. But the world that we live in now, this world is very different from the world that I grew up in. And this is why I want to tell you all watching this, you have to be safe. You have to protect yourself. You have to protect not just yourself, you have to protect your dream. You have to protect your endeavors. You have to protect your mind. You have to protect your soul. Don't let the changing of this world change you as well. Don't let the changing of this world or the agents of this our world, don't let them get to you where you lose yourself, where you let go of your calling, of your passion, where you let go of what it is that you're supposed to hold on to. And it's like the more I look at it, I don't know if it's always been like that, or if this is just the time that I'm starting to recognize it and see it. Maybe now most people no longer hide it, or maybe I'm just aware of it. Regardless, there is a change. Something just feels off. And sometimes you meet people and it doesn't seem like they are even human beings. Sometimes I have to ask myself, I know that's a crazy thought, but I'm just going to keep it real with you. Sometimes there are certain people I meet. I don't know if it's the way the conversation or the kind of things that they want to talk about. There are specific people you will meet, and it will make you consider strongly that maybe there is a possibility that we have zombies living amongst us. Maybe we have some energy vampires living amongst us. And this is why you never want to focus on just the outward appearance of a person. So now I remember meeting this one girl like a while back. And so we just started talking. And as we were talking, I remember her one day we were testing, and she said to me, I would love to lay on the bed with you. I feel like you have good energy. Oh my goodness. Even now that I'm thinking about it, I'm getting chills just thinking about that stuff. That scared the crap out of me. And this is why, I try to talk about how you can't just live on the normal plane of people with, for lack of a better term, people that have or operate in kind of like a low vibrational state of mind. And what I mean is people who are led by their flesh in a way. People who are led by lust in a way. The lower version of myself would have thought, oh, we in there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I would love to. But you have to be careful out here. What you mean you would like to just spend the night with me because I have good energy? And that's the crazy part, right? Because there was a time when I hear people talk about like energy, or you have good energy and stuff, that stuff used to rub me the wrong way. But now I don't really run away from those words. In a way, they're part of my dictionary, and they've expanded my experience as well of life. And that's why I say you always have to give yourself room to improve. You have to give yourself, or allow yourself to grow. Not in a way that you lose yourself, but in a way that you kind of like add to yourself. Like, take time to analyze. This is why I always talk about how you need to be able to spend time with yourself. You have to be able to see people and see their intentions in a way where you can feel something from them and trust in that your God-given instinct. But it's impossible for you to feel on that level or operate on that level or frequency in a way if all you do is feed your lower self, if all that you do and live for is to feed your flesh. Entertainment is this word's substitute for joy. Write that down. Entertainment is this word's substitute for joy. Like, when was the last time you asked yourself, truly, like, how are you doing? This morning, I asked myself that question when I was brushing out my hair. I was looking at the mirror and I said, how are you doing? Because that's one thing I realized, that whenever I do that, because I don't do that as much as I would like to, but I think whenever I do that, it kind of allows me to see certain things that might have kind of like slipped under the radar. And I'm like, yeah, but but I'm good. I'm good. No, we have to keep going. When you allow yourself space to get to know yourself, you see, this helps you as well to know other people. See, that awareness you get from knowing yourself, and you must be truthful when it comes to knowing yourself. There is this stuff called a shadow self. Carl Jung came up with that idea. The shadow self, or your shadow self, it's like the unconscious part of a person's personality. So the shadow self, it's almost like, in a way, you can say it's the dark side of a person. But no, let me not call it a dark side of a person, but you will see what I mean. Your shadow self is, it's made up of traits, right? It's made up of habits. It's made up of desires. It's made up of impulses that we deny, that we reject, or that we suppress. The shadow self is often made up of traits that we have learned are unacceptable, socially or morally. You cannot transcend the darkness that you have in your life. You cannot grow or break out of spiritual darkness, or the darkness that covers your conscious self, your conscious mind, by just imagining figures of light, by imagining brightness. You must first acknowledge the darkness. You acknowledging the darkness is you making the darkness conscious. It's you coming to a place where you allow yourself to see yourself just as you are. This is you allowing yourself to get to know yourself. Because it's only when you get to make those darkness conscious can they begin to lose grasp over you. Now, this is an important part that I feel like I need you to know and remember in reference to your growth. Because if you're watching this, there is no doubt that you will grow. There is no doubt that you will become a higher version of yourself. There's no doubt that you'll be faced with the opportunity to become everything that you're supposed to be. Because if you're watching this, one thing I know about you for sure is you're not asleep. You're going somewhere. You will reclaim your life. So I need you to remember this. The moment that you start growing, and this is something that I noticed, right? The moment you start letting go of things that don't serve you, right? Meaning you start embracing habits and you start embracing things that serves you. Start doing the things that you've been putting away. The moment you start investing in yourself, the moment you start becoming everything that God said you will become, the moment you allow yourself to see yourself as you are, allowing yourself to change, allowing yourself to grow, people will get strange with you. I'm telling you, strange. People will get weird with you. They won't support you. They won't even like your stuff. But it's not the fact that they don't support you, it's the reason behind why they don't support you. See, these are low vibrational people. You won't support me because you supporting me makes you feel like you're ignoring your own goal, your own dreams. When they look at you, they will see parts of their lives that they have not acted on. Some people don't support you because supporting you doesn't feel like it's adding anything to them. Underlining or deep down there, they feel like, well, we both matter. You see, but nobody said we didn't, we don't all matter. See, it's the dark, it's the shadow self again. It's like they're in a competition with you. And the mentality that these people have is, it's almost as if I support you, then I disappear. Because in the mind of some people, in the economic mind of some people, attention is a scarce resource. It's not one that can be shared. And it gets so real too, because see, the moment you start growing, the moment you start, you put your plow down, you put that hole and you start digging, right? The same people who were telling you before you started, who were encouraging you, who were telling, hey, go do this stuff, and you were telling them this, what you're doing, this, oh, do it. Those same people will not support you. Like I said earlier, it's not about the support. It's about the reason why they won't support you. See, they won't support you because as you express yourself, as you express your creative side, as you express whatever it is, your purpose, as you start working in your purpose, as you start becoming different, see, that expression confronts them with certain truths that they don't want to be confronted by. Certain people won't support you. Certain people would withhold support from you. They won't like your stuff. They won't interact with your stuff. Your expression shows them a version of courage they haven't acted on. They see you doing things that they don't have the courage to do. They see you having a voice they haven't found. They see you living a life they postponed. And instead of being inspired, deep down there is a desire they have. The desire that you will lose it all. The desire to see you fall. I'm able to articulate certain things the way I am because, I once was that person. But like I said, most people will never admit these certain areas of their life. And that's why I say, you can't escape darkness by just imagining light or imagining the figures of light. For you to escape a dark spiritual life, you have to be able to acknowledge the darkness. You have to be able to make that darkness conscious. If you're going to get to know yourself, then know yourself. There's no point in you lying to yourself. And in a way, I think it's also the concept of confession, right? Because it's like here, God says, God will forgive you, right, for your wrongs. But he says, just confess. He says, just confess it, making the darkness conscious. It's not that he doesn't know, right? But it's the importance of you acknowledging. It's the importance of you coming to a place where you allow yourself to see yourself as you are, right? Because that's a sign that you're letting go of pride. That's a sign that you're letting go of ego. That's a sign that you're not buying into your own lies. You can deceive people outside and say, oh man, I love seeing people win. You will never even admit to yourself alone that seeing people grow makes you uncomfortable. As you're growing, as you continue to put yourself out there, you're letting your light shine. You have to understand there are people, like I say, some people will resent you and some people will want to see you fall. See, and I'm talking about the same people who would never admit to their shadow self, who will never admit even to themselves that seeing people rise make them feel some type of way. The same people who would come out and say, oh, I love seeing people win. I want everybody to win. But until they see you winning, until they see you start rising, until they see until they see your light shining, and now they start resenting you. So most people will feel a subtle satisfaction for your downfall when a person who is rising suddenly fall or start losing favor with people around them. When a person who is rising, a person who is on their purpose, that's the moment some people have a subtle satisfaction. The subtle satisfaction they feel is a relief. It's almost like, well, if this person is no longer shining, then I no longer feel like I'm being dimmed. They look at you and they say, if this person is no longer rising, then I no longer feel diminished. You have people in your life who never like your post. They never interact with your content. These are your friends. They saw it. They will interact with every other person's content. They will like, they will comment. But you're their home girl. You're their homeboy. You know them. But they will never interact with your content. You have to recognize these people. That's all I'm saying. Look at your social media. Look at your posts. Look at the people, your close friends. The people who are your homies. The people who they see your content. They see your, look, they see, I really believe that social media, it's really great in revealing people to us. See, what happens most time is we just don't be reading into it. Read into these things. Not read into it in a way where you're like, oh, and then you take it personal, but it's just so you know. It's the shadow self at play. It's the nature of a person being revealed to you. Then you deal with them accordingly, not from a place of malice or resentment. Otherwise, you start operating in the same mindset. Always live beyond it. That resentment is what we see on social media. And I say social media is one of the best places really where the shadow self and the context of what we are talking about, kind of get magnified. Like when a well-known person falls, you hear things like, see, no, I know this, but you never said anything all this while. You were the same person who was supporting them. You were the same person liking all their content. You were the same person in their comment. I think that's another angle, right? Because sometimes people support people not really because sometimes people will support you not really because they want to support you, right? But because other people are supporting you. And if other people are supporting you, that means your success has been established. And you see, established success is tolerated, but ascent, when you're in the process of ascending, that journey to them, it's threatening. It's threatening. It's a threat to them. Like I said earlier, because they start seeing certain things that, man, if this is possible for this person, then it's possible for me. So they try to hold support away from you. They try to like fight against it or stand against it, or at least see it fall, see it like, see it come to a stop. Because the moment it comes to a stop, now it's like the inner competition that they have, or the inner comparison that they have inside of them, gets corrected. And that's where the relief comes. Okay, I don't have no pressure. I can remain as I am. People will support you if you're already established. People support a person who is already established, who is already recognized, because that person or their success, their established success, no longer threatens their identity. But they will withhold support from you when your growth is still active. And when your growth is still active, that means you're still close enough for them to compare themselves to. And people fear your potential more than they fear your achievement. And your potential makes people uncomfortable. That's why they will never give you support when you're growing. Because once you're already achieved that, once you're already established, then it's almost like you're far gone. They no longer look at you as a competitor. In their mind, they are in competition with you. Like I said earlier, right? In the economy of some people's mind, it's so much scarcity. Attention is scarce in their mind, so they don't want to share it with you. Support is scarce in their mind, so they don't want to support you. And that's the irony, right? And this is why emerging creators, people who are starting business, who are starting new endeavor, this is why they feel unseen by the people closest to them. But as they continue, they start attracting strangers. Strangers, their support don't come from people who know them. Their support comes from strangers. Because you see, strangers have no vested interest. Strangers are not trying to protect their image in relation to you, because they do not know you. So they're not trying to like, oh, I'm not going to support this person because then this person will shine brighter than me. They don't know you. This reality is something that I need you to understand. Because what this means is that early recognition comes from those who are secure enough in themselves to recognize before collective validation. See, they are not supporting you because, oh, now everybody is already supporting you. Everybody is here, general consensus. When people support you, they support you because, see, they recognize. As long as a person rises, as long as you're rising, as long as you're allowing yourself to change, you act as a mirror of ambition, a mirror of unused potential. But once that person falls, the mirror breaks. And as the moment the mirror breaks, also, the pressure to ask yourself difficult question breaks. And you see, that's why there's a relief, because now, okay. But let it be known, the relief you feel when a person who is rising, a person who is on their grind, the relief you feel when they fall costs you something. It costs you the blessing, the gift, the ability to genuinely admire. It costs you the courage to recognize potential early. It costs you the ability to grow through others rather than against them. I can say something that if you allow yourself to accept, it will change, it will spark something inside of you. If you can only allow yourself and see outside of yourself, if you can just allow yourself to receive. You see, people with this kind of mindset will never allow themselves to receive. They'll never allow themselves to receive genuinely. You see, people who feel jealous, who feel smaller, who feel diminished when somebody else is winning. These people believe, consciously or not, that success is limited. In their mind, it's an economy of perpetual scarcity. And that ends up becoming their reality. To me, that's hater. I have been hater before in certain areas. But you see, I think that's why I say, you need to allow yourself to see yourself just as you are. What? This stuff is in me? I have the potential to be like, I have the potential to really see somebody winning, and it makes me feel uncomfortable. Like, why? Why does it bother me? It bothers me because that's a mirror. It bothers me because I'm seeing what I should be doing. Now, not saying it's exactly the same thing, because no two people can do the same thing exactly the same way. And when I acknowledge that, when I allow myself to grow, when I allow myself space to change, Truly, I acknowledge those things in my own self. And I know that I can't be alone. And this is why I'm making this video as well. To kind of, not just renew my mind in a way, but as well, anybody who can relate with this video. And so when you see certain areas in yourself and you see yourself coming up with certain desire or certain feelings that it's not who you want to be. See, that's just I believe that's just how human beings are. It doesn't mean that you are like this inherently evil person. That's just a part of you that needs acknowledgement in order for you to grow. That's not the part of you that you should suppress. You acknowledge it and you're like, oh, okay. Seeing people grow actually make me feel uncomfortable. And you see, and you choose to be inspired by them. And now it's like, okay, you know what? I'll support them. And let this be a reminder as you're growing, whatever you're doing, do not rush. Do not conform, whether it's your art, whether it's your business, whether it's your life. Do not conform to get likes or to get the support. Never forget the reason why you're doing what you're doing. Your art, your business, your expression, all of these things. Yourself, keep it pure. If you're still here with me, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching. And y'all keep doing the best with the things that you have. And keep growing. Allow yourself to change. Allow yourself to do things that have potential to serve you. I think I kind of say this a lot at this point, but I say it because it's true. And if this is hitting home, just let it hit home. Don't fight it. Come face to face with it so you can transcend it.